Ugh. Grossest seal launch.
First of all, worth saying that I'm stoked about this Kaleva Harry Ferry shirt. All right. Gotta love some kayaking merch. Y'all, it is stupid low on the Potomac right now. The river's at 2.6 while I'm recording this, which is the lowest I've ever seen it. I've been paddling for 3 years or so. Right now, Z channel is basically dried up, so I think you'd even need to carry around it to get down there. And when we run it, it's almost dried up. Z channel is Pin City. You'll see what that looks like. The CFS is about half of what it is, even at like 2.9, usually sitting around like 3.1K CFS. And in this video, we're at like 1400. So the water's slower, lower. The bone zone is truly the bone zone. So have a look. Enjoy.
Oh, come on.
So an awesome local paddler named Seb shared some beta with me, basically saying that the Z channel drop itself was very pinny at this level. And so setting safety, making sure you have a throw rope, a pin kit, those kind of things are very important. You'll notice at the bottom here, I hop out of my boat and get on the rock to start setting safety in case somebody needs a push across that pour over if they get beached. If they're sideways, they might need to pull, redirect of their boat. If they get pinned, they might need to be extracted. And there were 2 other boaters who joined me in this pursuit. Just people we met on the river, hopped out of their boats, helped us get everyone over that little drop safely, and have a look.
I'm gonna take out from the eddy and stand on the rock.
When running this, you basically have 2 options. You can stick river left, going for that usual pour over drop that you would hit, which is just straight on. The thing is that it's really low and there's a rock coming up in the middle, which tends to get your boat sideways and kind of pin you on another protruding rock on river left. So be ready to lift your way through that. So push yourself over the drop. Otherwise, if your boat is small enough and you have good enough boat control, you can do a right-hand turn at 2 different places and go around it on river right.
Good, good, good. Keep going. Good, good, good. Okay, good. Yeah, that works. Yep, perfect.
Now right foot on, go back in the middle.
Hey, thanks so much, y'all. We all good?
bone zone is preposterously bony. Be ready to use your hands to lift yourself across a bunch of rocks. Keep an eye out for moving water and those green V's or green tongues that are downstream, indicating you have enough water to float on. It's so low that you can probably prevent yourself from tipping over using your paddle to brace actually on rocks. But of course, be careful of your paddle getting damaged or stuck between two rocks. In fact, when I'm paddling water like this, I'm taking kind of timid, shallow paddle strokes, mainly because I don't want my paddle to get pinned all of a sudden between two rocks. So it's good practice, but absurdly shallow.
He likes that left line. Oh no, it's too good. Good. Nice.
Not to fear, stern squirt eddy is still good for stern squirt practice, but you'll find there's two eddy lines. There's one that's really close to you, shallow, trashy, probably wouldn't want to flip there. A little slack water, and then another eddy line out closer to the main flow. It's deep enough there, so that's where we're practicing.
Yeah! Oh.
So you'll notice as I paddle into this eddy, I take my little boost stroke, and usually I would want to brace on my left when that eddy line grabs me and spins me around, but my buddy Mark is to my left. And so I do this like non-committal like slap with my hand and try and make sure I don't hit Mark with my paddle, which is why it rolls, I roll over with one hand on it. And in the pool, I practice that a lot, rolling over with one hand and then rolling back up, etc. So it was useful here. And again, you'll see me doing these weird little paddle tosses and nonsense like that. And it's precisely for this kind of situation popping up in the wild.
Oh, he wants it. Yes! This is kind of interesting. This isn't usually like this. Wow.
I sure as hell am not running Beaver Slide at this level. If you look just to my right in the eddy, you will see some exposed rocks. Now, typically I'm like landing on that part of the eddy, so I'm glad I noticed them at the last moment, and be aware at 2.71. You probably noticed by now that my camera angle is not great. I'm borrowing a GoPro from the heroic and fantastic Roy Wheat, paddling buddy of mine. After losing and damaging my GoPros, was willing to lend me his. Thank you very much. And the other thing is that when I fixed it on my head, it was pointing down a little bit, which I thought would be good, but I didn't double check, and it's pointing down a little too much, which is robbing you of some horizon line perspective. So we'll do better in the future. And always be aware, if you're mounting your GoPro like on your forehead, it should be facing straight out. If it's on your head, a little downward angle can be helpful to grab the tip of your boat and everything and perspective in the shot, but I just didn't check, so my bad, y'all. Okay, so the theory behind my line here is that I want to go just left of Welcome Wave Rock and sort of eddy out behind it, between it and the smaller rock that's downstream and left of it. There's just enough room, it looks like, for my playboat to get through, so that's what I'm trying to do here. And then it's just, let me punch that rooster tail, punch Darkside, attain back up, and do it again. See, it throws my bow left like that because there's a bunch of water coming down straight and a bunch of water coming down from Darkside Hole. So when I come down Darkside Hole, my whole boat goes underwater, and the current that's pushing from the other direction throws my bow left. Just be ready for that with a brace, or you can hit the hole lower on the left like I'll do on the last time I run it. The attainment move here is really simple. It's simple if you ferry out below Darkside Hole. I like to keep my feet on the foam pile, basically just under the actual rushing water of the wave, and then paddle my way up through that boily slack nonsense to the flat water, basically, and then you're already at the eddy. So it's not that challenging. If you go into the hole, it's pretty hard. You have to lean hard left and be ready to brace for it to spit you out on river right, surfer's left, looking upstream. So it just kicks me out when I try that. Did you hear those bumps? There are a few rocks down there. I'm fine. I've hit them a lot of times. You're typically going pretty slow and it's cushioned, so don't worry so much about that. But maybe elbow pads if you're really concerned.
Does not want to let me go.
That guy is an awesome kayak polo player who had never really done whitewater before coming to DC. So he's teaching us kayak polo, and we're taking him on the river. This is like, I don't know, his third or fourth time downstream, and he's crushing Darkside Hole. All right. From here, you can see me just ferrying out that eddy that you're aiming for in the Harry Ferry, which is like above Darkside Hole on the Virginia side, the one I'm in right now. You get to the top of that, and you're kind of under that rooster tail, and you just ferry out, and then you can run Darkside Hole, or if you ferry much harder, you can get over to Maryland and run that. The latter of the two is really hard, especially in a shorter boat, and you risk getting pinned on the island. So either go with a ton of confidence or stick to Darkside Hole. No matter what, don't stop paddling. This is just me doing a terrible job of getting vertical before the splat. If you can actually get your feet up on that wall, it carries you across really nicely. Definitely come out at 2.71 high tide. It's a great paddle. There are more rocks, more considerations that way, but it's kind of a cool x-ray of the river. You can see what lies beneath when you're usually paddling it, get a good inventory of the rocks at play and what's going on with the hydrology there. I would also say it creates new safety challenges, pins, rock encounters, all of that good stuff. Definitely a good idea to scout. If it's been storming, check for wood because it's more consequential at low water. The other thing is that if you don't have a safety game, if you're not bringing a throw rope, if you don't know what a Z-drag is, if you don't have a pin kit, those are all competencies that are easily as important, if not more important than your paddling ability. Probably not more important in terms of keeping yourself safe. But if you have no safety game, go out and get it, because it's not cool to be paddling with a bunch of people and have no idea what the norms are around paddle signals, hand signals, equipment, how to use it, basic wilderness first aid, and basic swiftwater rescue principles. These are necessities when it comes to kayaking, and it's very uncomfortable to discover that someone you're paddling with doesn't know anything about that. If you're meeting new people, it's a good idea to ask them when the last time is that they did swiftwater rescue or what kind of safety equipment they're actually bringing on the river. Just FYI.